Hey, everybody, you know what time it is. I know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Syntax Live. I hope everybody is doing okay. I'm doing all right. A little busy, a little very busy at this point, but I wanted to make sure I got on tonight. Just make sure because I wasn't here last week, and I do apologize for that, but things were so hectic, I didn't even know what day it was. So, anyways, let's pop a top and let's get to it. 2 points. All right. Let's see. Got a whole list of stuff to talk about, and most of this, if not all of it, comes from the comments from you guys. So first things first, the T-shirts. If for some reason you sent in an email with your address for the T-shirts, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks now. If you have not got them, let me know. Okay, so I can go in and I can adjust fire, and I can probably, if I have the right size, I'll send you another one. Okay, if you didn't get it, you didn't get it. I sent them out, folks. I sent them out. All right. Out of the comment section, we had folks looking into the older stuff and either loving it or hating it. I got a few comments of some people complaining about the audio quality of some, but I mean, let's face it, when you're working with a laptop and a cheap headset to start with, I expect the sound quality to suck. So if that's one of you, sorry, but I hope you find something you like. Apparently, a few people are finding my oldest stuff and finding some of it rather, I don't want to say entertaining, more like funny. So I do appreciate that. And by the way, remember, comments, concerns, complaints, send them in the comment section. I do read them. I read all of them. Let's see. As far as the series goes, I've been getting a lot of comments about you guys not being able to watch them in sequence on YouTube. Because of that, I'm going to go back to something I had originally stopped doing, which is when I'm done with a series, I'll condense them into one long video and post that one video. So if you see that and you're like, oh, I've already seen this series, that one's without hesitation, it just keeps going. Will it still have the shout outs at the end? Yes, it will. I'm not going to delete those. You guys sent in for that, you get them. It's just the way I roll. All right. Independence Day story. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I was literally beating my head against that wall trying to figure out what the hell to do for Independence Day. And then it's one of those things that just kind of hit me. And apparently you guys liked it because today is our Independence Day. I was like, you couldn't fit it any better, folks. Everybody knows it's a classic. As sappy as it is, it's classic. I took your advice. Hint, hint. I won't mention exactly who it is, but the advice of mixing shorts in with the series. I'm going to start doing that. Apparently, that's working a whole lot better. Some folks, you guys seem to like the shorts more. I did get a comment saying it's been like 9 months for a short and there's no part 2. Well, there wasn't meant to be. If something has enough views, then perhaps, but it is what it is. That's the way we're going to work. Apparently, a few people in the comments section, they love the whole guess what's coming of is it real life or is it fantasy? That was the point of the series, folks, is to get you, what's next? What's next? Which one is this? Because I can't say the words directly. I can't say that something's a Spartan or something's a Space Marine or something's an actual, I can't use the name of some sort of bell ringer or whatever the Banshee's name was. I can't do that in the stories. I can do that on the live stuff here, but I can't do that in the stories. I will get in trouble. So I got to tap dance around that shit. Not to mention it's too on the head. And I know a bunch of you guys like to guess, which was, again, the whole point of it. If I didn't hit your particular series or game that you like to play, it is what it is. I only had a few. I only had it lined up, and I'm trying to remember exactly where I had the list of the games that it was. I don't know if I actually brought that out in my notes here. Somebody was actually asking for the actual no shit list, and honestly, I forget where in the hell I put it. It might be in this one here. I got notes scattered everywhere, folks. So if I find it, I'll show it to you, and that way there's no question. Okay, definitely not that one. Maybe it's the one back there. I don't know. Let me look. like I said, folks, I got notes everywhere. And is that human? But whatever. Yeah, I've been so busy, I haven't been able to actually consolidate everything. It is definitely not in that. Anyway, I will say you guys were right. You were the very first one was World of Warcraft. Okay, I tried to put the thumbnail to help you out. You had StarCraft in there. I got those two first because those were the very largest ones. Originally, I was going to go by the most popular or what came out earlier. I fucked it up, so I kind of rolled with what I got. You still had a couple of the fantasy games in there, Overwatch and things like that. Again, I really wish I had brought that out. It's definitely not here. That was the one that dropped, by the way, an hour ago. That's the notes for, or that's the story right there. And yes, one did drop an hour ago. You were not misplaced. Anyway, I will at one point, if I find it, I will make sure to bring it up here on the stream so you guys can see it. Maybe I wrote it down here. Did I? Please tell me I wrote it down here. So I want to actually put it out for you guys, but I screwed up. Okay. On to the next point. Where was I? Oh, the one that dropped about an hour ago. That is the next chapter of Real Life and Fantasy. And I hope you guys like the part that I don't do spoilers, folks. I don't do spoilers. I don't do spoiler alert. I'm going to tell you what it is. That's bullshit. Okay. Anybody who comes back from a movie goes, man, it was great. That part here. Seriously. Like the man says, ass baggery deserves ball kickery. And with you ladies, trust me, we'll get inventive. So, anyways, yeah, that would actually, I will say that one's gonna, I tried to tie everything up in a bow. So that's how that goes. I'm going to go back to making series the old way because it's taking way too much time. Way too much time to actually do things this new way. And I just don't have the time. I hate to say it, folks, but that's why I haven't been posting lately as often as I would like to. After this weekend is over, where I have to take my nephew down like 5 states away, it's a 13-hour road trip there, 13 hours back after another 2 days. I'm going to go back to the old ways, and I'm just going to have myself on a sequence of events. And if anybody else doesn't like it, they can kiss the darkest part of my ass, because I want to make sure I get a schedule for you guys, because I don't want to leave you hanging. That's bullshit. And I don't deal in bullshit. You don't deal in bullshit. So drop into bullshit. Okay. Sorry, I just hosed off the glasses. They're dripping on me. No, I'm not crying. I'm not crying, man. Okay. Yeah, there's my notes where I said I'd get the list out, and I totally screwed. Now, for those of you who are old movie fans, my friend Wildy is coming, and so is Wildy's friend. I'm sure you all remember that one. And that's from a very old movie. And it was actually the inspiration for the story. And I figured, you know what? I want to get as close to that movie as possible. That's why there's so many references in there. That being said, it's still a sci-fi story. It's not a gang killer on the streets of London pretending to be Los Angeles story. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the references on that one. It's like trying to run from a human with a machine gun is like trying to run from a Bronson with a machine gun. It just doesn't work. So, something that I'm noticing a lot in. Oh, somebody's heading out. I just got a quick look at the notes here, and somebody said they're heading out. Take care there, Noah. Anyway, something I'm noticing on some of the other science fiction, and I know the AI does not pick this up ever, is the fact that different species, chemicals are going to affect them different ways. And one of the ones I actually put in before was the normal sedative to subdue somebody, to us, is almost like pure cocaine. or meth or something. It's just gonna make you wired as all hell and friggin' stronger than hell. It's like meth wrapped in PCP. It's gonna make you dangerous. You're like, what the hell? Which is why when I had different species, that the short I did there, where Wildy's here, coffee was what got him drunk. Caffeine, good old caffeine. Reason I chose that is because that happens with spiders, people. You actually let a spider drink some coffee and they're going to be loopy as fuck. It's just the way it is. Let's see. Got my thing here on sound quality. All right. That's for this past week's notes, folks. I appreciate you guys sending in any and all comments, even if it's just a thumbs up, a yay, or tell me my story was good or it sucked. Comments help. The algorithm likes them. I like them because it helps me make better stuff. All right. Previous week, apparently somebody stumbled onto the stories Humans Mate Anything, and if you haven't heard it yet, was when I got really started to get my legs under me and came out pretty good. But that's up to you guys. If there's a part, I figured I was going to try something, and thankfully it hit the bullseye and it didn't totally miss the target. Like a tow missile when the wire snaps. If you've never seen that, it's actually spooky because you think that thing's going to whip back at you like a bottle rocket. Previous week. Thank you, whoever came up with the whole thing when they were talking about real life or fantasy. When the guy's like, I want my armor green, don't give me the blue. And that Deadpool line, I totally forgot about it. Don't make the suit green or animated. I was like, whoosh, over my head for a second, and I was like, oh, how did I miss that? You guys are great. You guys are awesome. You get that little stuff I miss. I mean, you guys just freaking great. Question, did I do enough with the different types of suits so that you guys could tell the difference between the Halo exosuit, the StarCraft, the Warhammer, all that? If it wasn't good enough, I'm going to watch that a little. But if you say it wasn't all that great, I'm going to have to really get in the descriptive parts. Somebody laughing about shopping trips in the comment section. That was always good. And yes, any ladies there, trust me, a real man's not going to give a shit about being in the lingerie shop as long as he gets to look. But the problem is you get always someone like, I can't believe he's in here. Oh, he's being creepy. He's looking in a totally different direction. And he's so creepy. I'm like, maybe his wife is in there. You see him holding a bunch of bags? Well, chances are he's there with somebody knows. Yes. Anyways. Somebody brought this up, and I wanted to show that this is why original science fiction, or I should say hard science fiction, you're going to see things that you're going to be like, why doesn't something else happen? And when the Covenant came into the reality, they had, I believe, two groups. You had the Banished, and you had the group that came to Earth with the Prophet of Truth. After they got their ass handed to them by the orbital defenses. If you actually look at the number of ships, if they're trying to open up underneath a city, there's not going to be enough to handle the entire planet, not even close. The whole idea of at the end of that Halo where they said you just glassed half a planet, they needed an entire fleet to do that. You can't do that with just one or two ships. I don't care how large that ship is. Those super carriers are big, but they're only 5 kilometers? 4? That's a big ship for sure, but your scanner can't go over the horizon unless you're bouncing it off something else. And then if you get people spread too far, they're going to be picked off by your ground defenses. It's just the way it is. I do hard science fiction. You want science fantasy? Go watch The Asshole Light on Disney Plus. To hell with that fucking show, by the way. It's so bad. I can't even get through the reviews. I'm going, that's painful. Hold on. I just had to get the things here. But yeah, when you're talking full planetary invasion, the amount of personnel, the amount of hardware you need for something like that is absolutely insane. When they did it, and if you guys have actually read BattleTech, or go watch Text Talk BattleTech, when he talks about uh, the fight between Amaris and Kerensky, when Kerensky had to actually go and take the planet Earth, he had to go in there with numbers that actually hurt your brain thinking about, because he's facing a planet that was designed and built up to fight all this stuff. Well, even a planet like this, it's so large, you get people on the ground, they're going to get picked off by the local farmer. You know, a woodchuck, it only stands about that tall. And I had to friggin' bullseye its heart at 110 meters. I mean, that's not easy to do with just a 22 long rifle, because that thing, its ballistics suck. You give me a 22 Hornet, clean through. But still, these guys know what they're doing. You guys were right. That was Widowmaker, by the way. I'm going to go on to the next part here. And yes, I made her as zesty as possible. The reason she's not going out and assassinating folks is because everybody already knows who the hell she is. There would be no place on this planet she can hide. And the fact that she's so attractive can easily get her a contract as a model, a spokesperson, something like that. Absolutely no problem. She would be making money hand over fist. Hand over fist. Sorry, the easy joke on that, guys. Had to do it. So, yeah, that's the thing. Everybody would have to adjust. It is what it is. I mean, once you're in a new reality, you have to adjust a new reality. What do they say? When in Rome, act like Romans. See, where was I? Somebody asked about the not Warcraft, Warhammer 40K standard armor for their grunts on the ground. That armor, there's so little of it, for one. And two, if you look the way it's designed and the way it acts, it's not bulletproof armor. It's like something for flak. The same thing they used to wear in Vietnam. That's what it was based off of. It's just a thicker version of that. So I took that in the story, and they're like, oh, why are these bullets getting through? Well, that armor, by the way, is meant to fight energy weapons. It's not meant to fight ballistics. It's the same problem when people put Star Wars against real people. What happens is that plastoid armor is designed to absorb energy bolts. It's not designed for ballistics, just like the laser dildo that Darth Vader spins around is designed for other laser dildos so they can cross swords. And there you go. That's the way that operates. You shoot him towards the face with a 45, he's going to hold up, and then guess what? That sucker's going right through, turn into molten metal, hit him in the face. You don't know the power of the bang. I'm burning, I'm melting. It's like, I'm glad people start putting that in, because it's just kind of funny that when people start talking about that in a lot of these streams, suddenly the Mandalorians carried full metal jacket weapons. So, yeah. All right. Last thing I'm going to talk about before I jump into the chats, because I've been chit-chatting up here for 18 minutes. Details make the story. If I miss something, especially in the middle of a series, I need you guys to say something. Why? Because details that you guys brought up, I was able to incorporate in future chapters. And I was able to close some loopholes I didn't know were there. And I very much appreciate that. Thank you. I do appreciate all that very, very much, because I don't want to make shit. I have to deal with enough shit during the day. I don't want to have to deal with shit. You guys don't need to deal with shit. You're here to be entertained, and I need a drink. Hold on. All right, let me jump over here into the chat box, and let's see what's going on. Hold on, let me get to the top here. Everybody saying hi to each other. We got our regulars. We got Brian. We got Ava. We got the demons here. Oh, Isaac's here too. George Orwell. By the way, I hope you guys enjoyed going back to 1984, and I'll get into that a little later, because that's going to happen. Let's see. War Sniper says, we missed you last week. Why was there no live stream? I was so busy. By the time I was able to even set it up, it was past 6:30, and I didn't. It was just what it was. I mean, by the time I got back in the house, I think it was like almost 7:30. It was crazy. Even though the sun doesn't go down here till 8:30, it's just it is what it is. I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay, he says I have the t-shirts and wear with Honore. Okay. You misspelled honor, dude. That's cool. Hey, I appreciate that very much. Ivan says, for the latest chapter 16, is it of real life fantasy? For the third distortion, do both of the proposed games? Well, the thing is, as you when I did my final at the end, and I was thanking you guys for listening, I actually said it's the end of that saga, which means the series can continue. But for this section, just like Ambush Predators, that saga is done. I'm not going to go back. I'm going to keep going. Hold on. Stop. Something happened. Hold on. Pull the brake. Okay. What I see, something just jumped up here. Let me scroll down. Let me see. We got a $10 super sticker from SS Demon. Thank you so much. Let me put that in here. And ooh, wow, I can't even write 10 on here. My freaking, what is wrong with my hand? I literally am trying to write down this and it doesn't want to do it. SS Demon. And you know, maybe one of these times maybe next time I'll do a succubus instead of a big scary evil motherfucker. And FYI, guys, I was trying to get the line right. Hopefully I didn't screw it up. Hold on. Oh shit, it just jumped up. We got a $20 super sticker from Sir. How you doing, sir? One of the two sirs that we have here, but the other sir has a whole bunch of stuff at the end. Let me just write this down. 20, okay. Sir in big letters. Hopefully you guys like when the picture I choose for you when I actually do the shout outs. And I do appreciate you both very, very much. You keep the channel going. I very much appreciate it. And I'm hoping when the stove gets installed, once it's there, I can actually put the walls up and I can start making my office. When the office gets put up, it's going to get soundproofing all around the walls. And because of that, I'm hoping the audio quality is going to be better. Not to mention, I'm going to take that freaking computer and I'm going to put it somewhere where the fucking fan motor doesn't disrupt me, because every time the fan motor kicks in, I actually have to stop, because this microphone is so freaking sensitive no matter what I do that I have to shut up, because we got a $5 super sticker from Erica. Thank you again. You kind of got me like mid-rant there. Erica, the truly outrageous Erica Gem. Truly outrageous, aren't you? I honestly, that was just a shot in the dark. And by the way, I don't know if you figured what the picture was last time I gave you your shout out, Gem, but that was the ultimate crystal gem from the Sonic the Hedgehog. You don't need to collect all the other ones. You just need that one. So you were the gem, the prime gem. That's, or whatever the hell they want to call it. So anyways, yeah, I hopefully when I get the office done and built right now, I need something installed. It's not coming in for about a month, so it is what it is. But again, I'm hoping to get the sound quality better. I keep messing with the sound adjustments on my system, so hopefully it gets better. Okay, breathe. Okay. Whew, okay. Let me jump back up here, because I jumped to the bottom because of the wonderful super chats and super stickers that we got. Actually, we didn't get any super chats. Yeah, every time I do that, you guys probably think something just bit me in the ass. Ah, super. Yeah. Okay. Okay, back to Ivan's thing. Now, I don't want to say too much because not everybody has listened to the last one, those that want to. Usually I wait at least 24 hours because some people right now are unconscious and they listen to them other times. So we don't do spoilers here. But I just have to say again, at the end, when I gave the shout out, it was, that's just the end of it. I could touch it later. Oh, goddamn. A bunch of highs to each other. Horse Member says, don't forget Halo. You do that one too. Yes, I do. Yes, I did touch on that one. I specifically did not have direct conversation with the MC and the MC, as in Master Chief. And I didn't have, even though you do hear Cortana, even I can't. I went to do the voice changer. The voice changer didn't work. I got to do something with it. It was supposed to give me Cortana's voice, but it didn't actually work. Anyways, but it's not a direct thing because honestly, I would have to have some help writing the character outside of them doing an announcement, get their actual personalities just right. Because I like that series too much. Noah's over here asking me if I'm smoking the ganja. No, I cannot stand the smell of that stuff. It makes me sick. Even the smell, it is like a skunk that's been left on the road in the middle of the hot sun for a couple of days. And then somebody came and barfed on it and took another shit. I mean, it's to me, it's disgusting. I can't even get close to it. Yeah, Fabian says I haven't watched it yet. Yep. Well, there you go. There's my point there, Ivan. Other people saying they were asleep and they hadn't even seen it yet. Noah's asked, why hide your eyes? Kind of a trademark thing. I started off my original channel that I had called The Crazy Uncle, and this was just something I did. These are actually no shit ballistic glasses. These went with me to Iraq, and I figured, you know what? Why the hell not? Not to mention my eyes are 3 different colors, so it makes people wonder, like, what the hell color are your eyes? They're fucked up. That's what color they are. No, saying he wants to see my soul. Well, I'm not much of a soul man. Anyways, but yeah, you want to see how dark it is, huh? Anyways, Ernest checking in. Yep. Glad to see you. Ava's here. The booby punch hurts as bad as getting kicked between the legs. Honestly, you find somebody that has both and then ask them that. Because a friend of mine who's actually former special forces, he says, if you want to know how bad it is being kicked in the nuts, have somebody close fist, no pads, do a full-blown liver punch, which is right here, and you're on the ground wanting to die. Okay, that's how bad that hurts, especially the first time, because it's such a it's so sharp. If being popped in the boobies is gonna actually put you on the ground, praying, just absolutely praying for death at that point, just so the pain will stop, then you can say that. But honestly, I've taken an actual heart punch before in training, and my actual trainer got pissed off at him because you're never supposed to do that, because you can kill somebody doing that especially if you do it absolutely right or absolutely wrong. Midway, you're just pissing them off. He put me to the dirt. I was on the ground actually wondering if my sternum had crushed into my heart. Then I went like this and I heard a pop, and it hurt even worse for about 2 seconds. And then I was like, I can breathe again. I'm not sure how you can confirm from experience on that, Ava, but you know what? I'm not touching that. Okay. Jumping into a bunch of these, just kind of going back. And Noah's heading out. Noah, if you're still listening, We'll see you. I seem nice. Well, depends on the day. Being the nice guy I sometimes want to be. Let's see. Abe, do you know what hurts? Kidney stones. I had one on. Oh, god damn. Oh. I don't pray, or I don't. I pray I never get one of those. I know somebody personally because I'm related to him. The kidney stone he passed was shaped like a star. So as it rolled down the tubes, it was scraping everything. He was quite literally pissing straight blood. Yeah, not so fun. So I guess, War Sniper, you're off coffee. Don't touch spinach, dude. Don't, for the rest of your life, for the love of God, don't touch spinach. It's just, wow. There's so much of the stone causing calcium, because there's actually different types of calcium, but that will cause it. As far as caffeinated coffee, I have no idea why it does that. I really don't. If I was you, I'd just either cut it out or go low on it, and you should be fine. Those are the big ones that I know. Talk to a nutritionist about the rest. Let's see. Ava saying, yeah, I heard about that. Don't want to try it. Well, kidney stones ain't exactly as bad for women as they are for guys. So, yeah. Well, no, my big War Sniper. I do wish my biggest enemy would get those. A lot of them, like back to back to back. I would rather them on the ground screaming, do the whole thing like the devil people from Warhammer, where they fuck with your brain so much that you think you have pain in that region so bad that you will literally take a knife and remove the pain, and then they'll snap you to reality, and then you're actually in pain because you just sliced that off yourself. And they're just like, ooh, delicious pain. Creepy motherfuckers. But yeah, I do wish that on a few of my worst enemies. A few people in particular, I would wish that they were not able to sleep ever again because of that. Okay, hold on. This thing jumped like crazy. So let's see. Erica says, because of the last three of fantasy or reality, I've had Iron Man and Black Sabbath stuck in my head. Okay, I saw that comment. Somebody wanted to figure if it was a Spartan or Iron Man. The main character is not Tony Stark. He's not a super genius with billions of dollars of research, development, and resources at their fingertips. That's what makes Tony Stark Tony Stark. He's fucking rich. He's not just rich, he's wealthy, and there's a big difference between the two. And they wanted to prove that point in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, because they said, who would Bruce Wayne be if he didn't have all that money? Casey Jones. That's who it is. Wanting to do the exact same thing. He's got to stick up his ass. He wants to go beat people up because he doesn't want to deal with his own bullshit. But what does he have? He doesn't have any money. So what does he do? He buys or works part-time, gets just enough money to survive, and buy these off-the-shelf used hockey sticks and whatever. And that's what he's fighting crime with. That's who Bruce Wayne would be without his money. He definitely would not get Selena. She is a gold digger if there ever was one. Let's see. Ava says, tow missile, you mean a pickup with a jet engine? Well, not quite. I'm trying to remember. The tow is actually an acronym. The W is wired. Oh, God. It's something operated wired. For some reason, I had a brain fart. But yeah, the tow missile, honestly, I don't care for the tow missile much. You give me a fire and forget weapon on the Bradley already. The Bradleys kind of suck the way they're designed anyway. Everybody's saying hi. How you doing? Yeah, Demon saying, yeah, we miss sometimes. It is what it is. And I see all the super chats again. So I do, again, thank everybody. I do. Just so you know, If you have 10 or above, you get a great big thing. You hear them, I say a quick thank you or a big thank you. It'll be the difference, and you'll spend more time on there, and I'll definitely stress it out more. But that's the line, guys. Usually, if I have a bunch of below $10, you get condensed together. Everybody else gets their own. So just so you know, that's my line for shout outs. And again, thank you all so much. See. Alan says, we enjoy your work and respect your downtime. Your health is important. My health needs some work. Here, sucking on soda is not exactly good for me. I'm actually, believe it or not, this is like the first one I've had in like 3 days. But pretty soon, when I got to make that drive, unfortunately, there's not much else except fast food to eat because I can't stop. Once I start driving, I can't stop. I got to go. Those of you who drive for a living, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see. Ivan said, sorry about my question in the beginning, the chat. I skipped. And hey, it's no worries. No worries. It's just the way we run things around here. And also, another way we run around here, I do have to say this. One, if you have a story that you have written that you want me to actually send out, go into the comment section of any of my videos, minus the live streams, because I keep forgetting to put them in there. And there is an email address. You can send your story. I will review it. If it works for the channel, I will read it. It can be fantasy. It can be science fiction. It can be horror. It can be suspense. The only thing we don't do is the rom-com shit, because if there's any romance going on, chances are there's guns going off too. Just like Ambush Predators. I mean, that whole thing started with a bang. It literally started with Gretnar bitch slapping her little brother, thinking he lost to some evil hairless monkey or some little hairless monkeys. Like, you disgrace me. Anyways. Anyway, if you want, you can send that in. Also, if any of you know how to draw, and by the way, if you find an artist who wants to create a webcomic using my materials, only thing he's got to do, 2 things. 1, you got to reference me. So it comes from, here's the original. Okay. And 2, do not fucking change it. Okay. It is what it is for a reason. If you start altering it, we might as well be working for Disney. Or God help us, get Sweet Baby Ink in here. Even thinking about that made everything go on. Isaac, I still don't have this. What the fuck? You don't? Tell you what, Isaac. At the end of next week, I want you to come in, and if you still don't have it, I will personally just take your address, and I will send 2 other packages specifically to try and get them to you. Because sometimes things do get caught in the mail. It's been, I believe, 2 weeks since then. So 1 more, or maybe 3. So 1 more. And if something got lagged or whatever, it should be coming in. Because that's bullshit. You should have your t-shirts. Verify, if you could, your exact address. Send me an email with your exact no shit address, exactly wherever you're from, exactly how it says, please. I had a little bit of problem at the UPS, the United Postal Service, because they were I went to the FedEx store, and one of the address, they looked as like, we can't find this. The post office did. So it might have been yours. Again, send me your exact no shit address the way you put it down. Let's see. Demon getting his pizza out of the oven again. Hey, pizza night. Why not? My pizza night's usually Saturday because someone I know makes homemade pizza and it's really good, especially when vegetables out of my own garden. Fabian says, how about a one-off story titled Those Damn Humans? Okay, I'll put that down. Idea. Those damn humans. Oddly enough, I'm already thinking the wheels are turning in here. Now, while I'm actually gone for the weekend, I'm going to see what I can do about getting something to post while I'm gone. That being said, uh, I'm going to be writing and I'm going to be relaxing. Reason for the relaxing is going to be I'm going to be driving all night and probably sleep the whole next day away. So it is. Eric is saying totally outrageous. Outrageous. Demons. Yep, you're right. It is truly, truly outrageous. Whoa, okay, this thing jumped. Let's see. Ernest says, how about a story where Outlaw Josie Wales, Indiana Jones, and Doctor Who saved the world? I got to be careful about using other people's IPs. I really, really do. And by the way, Doctor Who? Which who? Who him? Who you? Who them? Who there? Who huh? The thing is, I could possibly combine them, but it'd be a whole bunch of wibbly wobbly, twisted around googliness of time travel. Oh wait, that's Doctor Who. That's actually the one good line they had, because honestly, if you guys ever look at a time travel story, it's very, very easy for them to fuck it up something fierce. Why? Very simple. They forget which time they're using. We as humans, we perceive things as linear time because that's the way we experience it. In fact, time is not fully linear. There's a whole plethora of shit that goes on with that, which is why, and I'm glad you brought this up. Hold on, let me get this so it pauses. Which is why, remember when I said you're going to enjoy going back to 1984, George Orwell? Is because if you guys look into the Y files and look up John Teeter, you're going to find some interesting things that are already starting to happen. Not only is he the only supposed time traveler, by the way, it's actually Chrononaut, it's not time traveler, but he's the only one who comes back with actual evidence, clear, concise evidence, and everything lines up. Now, the kicker is, if you actually listen to it really close, you'll find little bits that actually tell you, hey, he's not that far off. Either this guy was prophetic or he's the real deal. Now, you got to think of it this way. He says that the technology is announced in 2036. I figure it's going to take about maybe 2 years before this technology comes out. A lot of people are going to want to go back as far as possible and fix things. However, you got to be careful, because the farther back you go, the chances are, since you got string theory, which is not fully a theory, he calls them world lines. You got to be careful which one you land on. You might end up going back and talking to yourself in another completely different world line, i.e. dimension. So you got to be very, very, very careful about that sort of thing. That being said, if they can send back your consciousness instead of, your physicalness, and just have you wake up in 1984, which is the whole thing. I don't know if you ever seen there's a internet, I don't know if you want to call it a meme. It shows Fred Savage from the Wonder Years, kind of groggy as shit, looking up, says, you wake up in the 1980s. What's the first thing you do? Well, me, after I'm done screaming, because I understand how time works, there's a bunch of stuff I do. I would fix a lot of things. Anybody says they wouldn't want to go back and fix something is fucking lying. Pure and simple, they're lying. But why do I say 1984? Well, to fix everybody's health and say a whole bunch of people go back to 1984 or thereabouts, even 1989, you're going to have a lot of people saying Big Pharma is killing you. Here's the evidence. Kellogg's is killing you. Here's the evidence. They're going to go freaking bankrupt. So what they could do, they got to go back just far enough where they can fix themselves. In 1989 is when all the stuff they shoved into the vaccines was causing all their problems. That's when it started. With all the research, you look on that line with all the years, and there's a straight for everything. It's actually freakish. I kind of wish I had it. I'd show it to you guys. What they got to do is they got to get it in the initial research phase so they're not losing a shit ton of money. So if they go back to 84, they've got 5 years, which is when they would actually have started all their processes, to cut the funding, move on to something else. Bing, bada, boom. Easy. Me personally, I'd be, what, 3 or 4 years old when that happened? Oh, wait, I think I'd done that once before. Oh, by the way, before anybody says, well, if that was going to happen, you would have already made it happen. Bullshit. That's total bullshit, because you have to experience the time before you can go back and meet yourself. But the thing is, when you go back and meet yourself, you're going to alter your memories while you're talking to the other person, and it's all going to just start making you do all this sort of thing, because all the different times are going to start swimming through your skull. God help you trying to make a reasonable way of talking. That's why they say don't meet yourself. Because, I mean, you'll probably quite literally go insane. You don't cause an aneurysm, you probably stroke out, which is why it's better to just send your consciousness, have it slam inside your old body and call it good. Okay. But that's one of the things I was saying about 1984. I mean, it all seems to coalesce. There's a lot of shit that goes in there. But I'm not going to see you sitting here for 3 hours talking about that. So, War Sniper, Sin, I trode over 3 times and could not even hold. Oh, I trode over 3 times. I could not even hold water because of the kidney stones. Weird part is I didn't eat or drink anything that could cause it, and I only drank water. Okay, hold that thought, because we have a $20 super chat today from Brian Kemp. Before I read this, let me write this down so I do not forget to give you your shout out. Ooh, almost misspelled it. Hopefully I'm saying your last name right. He says, enjoy the stories. Thank you. You are very, very welcome. And I will continue to do my best as long as everybody else helps me out in the comment section. Let me know where I screwed up. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. I had them surgically removed. So thank you again, Brian. It's great that you enjoy the stories, and I plan to make as many good ones as possible. Like I said earlier on, I'm going to go back to the older way I was doing it, because people like the longer stories. And when I do it the old-fashioned way, the last time I did an old-fashioned one, it was 40 some odd minutes long, and that was the they needed a hero, they got a human. So, anyways, but yes, thank you again, Brian. I very much appreciate it. So, War Sniper, when it comes to the stones, and I've known plenty of people that got them, you are just susceptible to it. It's most likely been sitting in your system for a while, and it just started coming out. The best I can say is talk to not only a nutritionist, but your actual doc. Make sure he charts everything. This is very important. That way, if something does need to be cut out or pulled out of your system, you know, where they send something deep in through the one orifice there to reach up and grab a hold and drag it out. Don't worry, you're sedated the whole time. But yeah. A lot of fruit juices will help that break apart, in particular cranberry juice. It's not exactly that it will flush them, but one of the key things is it starts to burn them off, so they're not as rough and they'll come out easier. More, it's kind of like lubricating it. Okay, on to the next one here. Ava, I'm out for the day. Good luck and have fun. Okay, see you, Ava. Bye, Ava. Everyone's saying goodbye, but Brian's back, and Brian sent me the $20 super chat, and so. Yeah, Alan says pre-packed snacks for drives. Yeah, yeah. That's one thing to stay awake, folks. If you're driving, even something as simple as chewing gum, just that motion is a lot of times enough. Now, thankfully, one of the guys I know who does podcasts twice a week, he's going to be having his podcast right as I'm driving, so that's going to keep my mind occupied. One of the key things is keep the mind occupied, and don't if you think you're starting to doze off, for the love of God, pull the fuck over, because I don't know if any of you here have heard of the black dog. Okay. For those of you who don't know, The black dog is what you see when you're driving and you're pushing just way too hard. It's considered an urban myth by some. Guess who's seen it? This guy. You know who also seen it? My brother. And only a few years apart. I still remember I was driving through Allegheny State Forest. It was like 2:00 in the morning. And I thought I seen something run across the road. Next thing I know, it was like it jumped through the window and snarled at me. I was like, ah, shit, fuck, fuck, fuck. A lot of people think you fell asleep at the wheel at that point. All I know is I was fucking awake. But as soon as I got to the next town, I got off and I drank like 3 cups of coffee. I mean, literally slammed them down as fast as I could. I was like, I don't care if I'm awake for 2 more days. You know, that shit, that whatever it is, it's not out there to hurt you. It's there to make sure you don't fuck up. But, you know, got to use what they know, and what it knows is fear. But yes, pre-packing snacks, having something to chew on, always good. Problem is drinking too much fluids, and then you're like, I got to find a place to stop. You know, that's something. I get between New York City and Washington, D.C., I'm not stopping. Barring the car going to shit, I'm not stopping. Demon says, oh, yeah, I sent you an updated email with all the updates in one piece, so you won't need to hold on to the old ones. Yeah, I saw it. I'm putting that one together. It's going to be a while. There's a lot of you send a lot of info, man. A lot. Alan says, i.e., Pogie Bait in the APC, we used to carry almost a week's worth. When I was on the MRAPs, it was actually doctrine to have from one side of the front windshield to the other, nothing but rippets. That was for the driver, myself, and the TC spot, and the gunner. Anybody else wanted them, they were SOL and JWF. Shit out of luck and jolly well fucked, because they're not getting them. We have to be awake. And it's kind of bad when I was like, here, have the only rippet I've got. And next thing you know, I'm doing this shit, like literally hitting my head against the wall, trying desperately to stay awake. It was terrible. Let's see. Demon says, pizza is his own food group. I eat it far more often than I should. Yeah, well, it's not horrible for you, as long as you're using the right ingredients. When I have it, it's always homemade. So usually it's like people's own vegetables, you know, freshly made dough. You know, it is what it is. Let's see. War Sniper, Isaac, I had to pay shipping costs on my post service. Didn't tell me it had arrived. I found out when I was looking on the track and trace code to find out. That's interesting. That's very interesting, War Sniper. Oh, shit. This thing jumped on me. Yeah, maybe I have the same thing. SS Demon, I lose weight on pizza. Is that supposed to be Hawaii? Or was that like a laugh? I don't know. Let's see. Ernest says, I know you can do it. Fourth Doctor Tom Backer. Okay. Yeah, it's when you're working with time travel, especially something like Doctor Who, because he doesn't just time travel, he teleports too. Time travel and teleportation are actually this part of the same thing. The difference between the two is teleportation is moving space without time. You're not adjusting time. You're simply adjusting a space. You have a fixed location using usually some sort of gravitational field, which any celestial body will do. And you're moving space without adjusting time. If you're adjusting time travel, you're adjusting the time without adjusting the space, i.e., you're locked in on a certain location within the gravimetric sphere. However, you are changing the time, but you're still in the same spot within there, which is why you have a good chance, if you're not careful, if you time travel, to reappear inside of something that was there before and you just didn't know it. So, I mean, it is what it is. They're close. They're the opposite sides of the same coin. Now, if you're gonna say go from here in 2024 to say 2004 on the other side of the world, you're literally time traveling. That's why that one, time travel, because that is time and space you're adjusting. That's why the actual term is chrononaut, because you're actually simply traveling in time without space. Ugh. Oh God, saying this, I gotta drink again. Okay. Erica says something for reality or fantasy. Chuck Norris is his own glitch. Oh, if I was doing movies, could you imagine another like dozen Chuck Norris in his prime showing up? Oi, Chihuahua. Or better yet, a whole bunch of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Steven, or not Steven Seagal. Pick your action star, or better yet, some psychopath. These actors, it would have a whole different personality. It would have the personality of the character itself. And that was a thought I was going to use. And then I was like, you know what? My brain can only push so much. Okay. Erica says, I get a few ones every now. Oh, yeah, you get a few good ideas. It is a good idea. If I was to make that into a show, I would actually need a writing team. That's how much one person can't concentrate on that many things at the same time. Because, I mean, if you brought in every supervillain, you wouldn't know exactly who's doing what, when, how, or why. And you don't even know if they'd be going at each other. Would they be working with each other? It would just be a nightmare. Horse and I were okay, good to go. Demon saying, I don't care if you take a year. I'm just excited to see what you do with it. Okay. It's just going to take a while. There's so much information. It's just going to take a while to go through it. Brian Kemp. SS Demon tried. Since June 16th, I have worked 2 days off. Today is my Friday, but I'm working tomorrow also. Oh, sweet Jesus. Make sure you don't go through burnout. That's all I can say. You can go through burnout doing it. You can go through burnout doing what you like. Okay, this is one of the things those super rich kids don't understand is they go out and party so much all the time. Eventually, they're like, I don't want to party ever again. They've literally burned themselves out. They're physically, they can still handle it. Mentally, they're like, this is nuts. And if they decide to say, fuck the burnout, I'm going to keep going, they just turn into Hunter Biden. So, I mean, there you go. Because then after that point, they're so addicted to the dopamine hit, they will do anything for a dopamine hit. I mean, why do you think so many people are attached to these things? See, Demon says, oh, that sucks, man. I remember that working like that. It's my old job. I wish you all the best, man. Don't push yourself too much, man. I have no idea why I phrased it that way, Demon. That just came out. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Ernest says, I was driving one night with my sister and wife, and something very large and brown ran across the road on 2 legs. All of us saw it. Ooh. Depending on where you are, that might be a certain cryptid. A lot of cryptid videos are coming out now that people have dash cameras. Again, I don't know where you were. I don't know what time of night. I don't know what season. A lot of times, there's a myriad of factors to go into on that one. Speaking of which, The Files, there's a reason why that one hasn't come out in a while, because the nephew sub character is still camping. He was going with his friends for a week or two. So gotta wait till he comes back. But hopefully, if not this Sunday, it's going to be next Sunday. I'll have that series up and running, back, and everything will be good to go. But yeah, that run across on, hopefully, I don't know if it was just a guy streaking across. Demon says, I feel like all the Steven Seagals would be the same person. All his characters are basically the same guy, but I do like his moves. I did as a kid. I don't really anymore, unfortunately. just like so many actors, he should have just acted and shut the fuck up. I mean, just seriously, just dude. Um, it's yeah. He decided to go, hey, I don't need this foot. I'm going to shoot it off. You know. Yeah, I hate to say it, but he's supposed to be this great martial arts expert. I've seen him go through all his stuff, and all I can say is, what the hell is this? I mean, I used to train with the level 4 jujitsu, and they don't get any higher than level 4 in the army. And I was like, what if I came at him like this? You know, every single person coming at him like that. I mean, nobody swings ever. Nobody goes to strike with the legs or anything like that. And I'm like, what the hell? If I went up like that, my trainer would have punched me in the face. I know, because he did a few times. Glad I wore a friggin' mouth guard. But yeah, he wouldn't be much different at all. The guy, honestly, his range of acting is extremely limited. He's also one of the hardest people to actually work with. It's bad. Okay, Fabian says, I am going to bed. Need to get at work in 4.5 hours. Catch y'all later. See you, Fabian. Yeah, 4.5 hours. That sounds like last night. They were shooting off fireworks here last night. Plus, we had a thunder rolling. My PTSD was kicking in really bad last night. I wake up every like 30 minutes. It was terrible. I hate that. War Sniper says, I like John Rambo more. If they brought a whole bunch of John Rambos, do you have any idea how fast, especially the young John Rambo, would be pulled directly into SF school, SF training, and sent on other missions just because he's that good? I don't know anybody who can cover himself in foliage and mud and be in like 5 seconds, be perfectly camouflaged. For me to do all that would take me like 30 minutes. Brian says, I have 3 medical aircraft I maintain for wow, dude. If I wore a hat, I'd be taking it off for you, man. That's got to be a stress one. Yeah, maintain for a children's hospital. That's something. Ernest saying, midsummer about 10 p.m. close to North Carolina. Oh, you might have seen a dogman. The dogmen are in that area, which are oddly enough supposedly hunted by lycanthropes, which is kind of weird. You wouldn't think that, but I mean that's just the way they talk about it. But yeah, in North Carolina, that's more about what you'd see. I'm trying to remember exactly in that area. If it was a Wendigo, it wouldn't have been brown, that's for sure. It says 20 years ago. Okay, that's the best I got for that area. And 10 p.m. That's real early in the night for these things. Usually they're not going around until midnight to 2 in the morning. Let's see. Demon says, wow, that's really an important job. And so is your health. Yes, for the love of God, take care of yourself, man. And Eric is saying, Brian, that's more badass than B2s. Yep, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. 100%, you know. Which, that's a movement people don't do anymore. Pounding the heart, is a sign of respect. We got to bring that back from the 80s. Speaking of bringing things back, folks, we have run through the chats, and most everybody's got to go. So I'm going to go. Safety brief, really quick. If you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, kick his fucking ass. I don't care if you got to kick him right in the nuts and steal his keys. Don't let him drink and drive. Also, it is the time of year where the little critters are following their mamas on the road. So those of you who live in the more rural areas, if you see a deer, a turkey, even a bear, for the love of God, slow down, even if you don't think you're going to hit that one, because there's probably something behind it. Okay. And I bumped a deer last year with the front of my car and early in the morning, and I still feel bad about it. So save yourself the repair bill, save your sanity, and just Keep it in mind. Also, make sure you don't get caught up in the, good old booger sugar or anything like that. Folks, it is not worth it. I've seen plenty of people get beyond fucked up in that, and not in a good way. Okay. In one particular case, she will never see her kids again. Not that they're dead, they just don't want anything to do with her. It's not a fun situation. Aside from that, if your little soldier's going in the bush, make sure he wears his poncho, people. This ain't Larry dealing with Gretnar where he's got to boo inside like 50 times before it only takes one time. So, all right. I hope I left you guys with a laugh, and I'll see you on the next one. This is Syntext ejecting.